Yo, what is up, gamers? Alright, so, I just got a new PB. Classic fashion. I'm just gonna get it started while we talk about it a little bit. Yeah, so it's been a while since I got my last PB. And my last PB was a pretty good one. It was pretty good because the cool part about my last PB was the 2213 was a run that stood for like a year. It's kind of nuts. And I was able to beat it, even though I got much worse RNG, right? I had just improved so much that I was able to just take runs that were much worse off in the luck department and still succeed with them. And so the 2208 was born because of that, because of a huge grind. I PB'd by like 5 seconds. So this run is really weird in the splits. And because I was doing this run offline, there's like no audio. So I'm going to do some commentary over it with some music, so it's a little bit more fun to watch. Funny thing, I was actually having so much more success with pauseless CE skip this night. So I did it. I just went for pauseless. I said, screw it. And I just did it. And it worked out. I will say a little bit of a spoiler. This run is not the 21 if you're watching it live, because I'm sure a lot of you don't know the time. But this is probably my best executed run ever. And another spoiler, the RNG got worse than it was last time. It is one of the worst in the top 20. It is one of the worst times for luck, which is kind of insane. So I get a 118, also pauseless. So this is like really close to my goal, to be honest. Very nice start. Certainly will never complain about a 118. Maybe in a while. I will say though that this, again, another spoiler, this run is the 21 IGT. This is the 5th 21 IGT on the boards now. Very hype. 21 is, when I originally started seeking a 21, I was aiming for it in the IGT timing method. And so it is really impactful to me still, even though it isn't a 21 in our main method. It's still cool. Also, I wasn't tabbed into the game there, by the way. And if you heard, if I was recording my audio, you would have heard, oh my god, I'm not clicked into the game. So I lose about half a second here because I'm scrambling to click back in. I lost like half a second. It's really funny that this ended up being the PB. And so because of the really good city escape, I could take a pretty subpar Wild Canyon. And you'll end up seeing this Wild Canyon was certainly subpar. This split time here is basically my threshold for resetting. Like, any worse, and I would have reset this run. Like, not the best execution, but also the set kind of sucks. We're gonna exit here with a 205, and yeah, I mean, it is not the best time ever. It is pretty rough for someone going for a 21 to take a 205. Aiden has said that 205 is still takeable for him. You know, he's going for a mid 21. So I don't feel ashamed taking this. But like he said, we should probably strive for better, because it's so reasonable for us, and especially him, to get better because of, CE times like a 118. I mean, it's like pretty bottom percentile of sets. Also, I messed up this Eggman, but good backup, so I only lost like half a second. But yeah, now I'm +2 on my splits that were already a rough start. So at this point, I'm kind of thinking in my head, I'm going to push things a little bit harder than I normally do. I'll probably go for the rail hop here, just play it a little bit risky. The Hero Story tournament's currently going on right now, so I was practicing for my match that happened today against JW, which I won. And the funny part is, I'm supposed to be race practicing. But I do something I would never do in a race right here with the rail hop. And I get it, save a good amount of time, but I would never do that in a race. 23 check, you love to see it. You really will never complain about that. And this is just clean. Like, ooh, basically 34 elevator, very nice. And I am spamming whistle. We love the whistle. So usually 48 check is what you're looking for here, and I just barely get one. 49 is what we would usually get, but yeah, 48 is very good. You love to see that. Everything is just really solid in this IL. There's not really too much that goes wrong here. Not shooting the boxes, kind of sad. Also, hello to all the gamers in chat. But yeah, this was really nice. And I even get, oh, I thought I got the double shot there. I guess I didn't. I get the 119 check, and I'm like, ooh, this is nice. I might be able to get a 130 from this. And at this point, I'm looking at the time, and I'm like, yeah, this is a 130. If you look at my best, it's like frames off my best. And I was like, I just got robbed. I wanted the 130 so bad. But I got a 131.02. Dang it. I was actually malting in VC. Still a very good time. I was fine with it. It was just a little sad. 2/10 from my gold there. Very nice. And it's kind of same thing going into Metal Harbor. I'm like, 350 exit of Prison Lane is like pretty standard. That is like the bare minimum of what I want for a PB. So I'm like, yeah, let's just, you know, balls to the wall everywhere we can. And playing pretty well so far in this Metal Harbor. I think yeah, 18.6, very nice. I even do the risky light dash strat there. I'm pretty confident in getting that to work like 90% of the time. But it's still a little odd going for it in the Hero Story run, because it's like a very little time save that can lose you the run, you know, if you miss it. So it's like, man, taking my time there with birthdays, pulley skip. I didn't even push that birthday skip at all. Yeah, so 46 check, that's usually what I like to see. And from the rocket here, I get a 52. So you want to add usually like 26 seconds there with the clean end, and that'll be your final time in general, if everything goes well. So from here, we're looking at a 118. Yeah, clean ending here. We're definitely looking for those rings there so we can get an extra life, because I've been super unlucky with the death strats lately, so I like having all the lives I can get. Plus, you'll see I did a new egg golem strat, which requires you to have more lives. So yeah, it is nice to just have a few lives coming out of Death Chamber, because Death Chamber can very easily eat up all your lives and still have you on a good pace. But yeah, I'm so, like, to put into context, the execution is carrying this run so hard right now, by the way. 118 City Escape, 131, basically 130 Prison Lane, and then a 118 Metal Harbor. So like, this is a very, very nice start. It's just that Wild Canyon where I could realistically save 16 seconds if I get the best set, right? It's like, that is such a huge deal. Like, wow, this is a really nice start. I was like, dang, I'm actually playing really well right now. And then nice time save here on my splits where I got a 15 Shadow 1 in my PB. Very silly. I even get a 12 here because of a high jump. And so, based off of, you know, a lot of stuff that like Trader has said in the past, 520 is a nice cutoff point here, and I'm not even matching that. I'm not even reaching that cutoff right now. So it's just like, dude, I'm kind of looking at this pace and being like, all right, I'll probably ball out in Green Forest. I'll go for nearly everything I can while saving lives, because I could do like the death strat at the beginning, LSBA, if you know what that is, the IL strat, or I could restart here at the beginning. But I'm like, you know, let's just save as much time as we can. Let's save as many lives as we can, rather, and just try to get the time save that we can with what's there. And so that does pretty much automatically mean that I'm looking more at, like, from my skill level, like a 113 at best. Like, even if I pop off, I'm not really getting better than that, because I'm kind of losing a good amount of time. Maybe 112 if I really gamed. Also, what is up, Cinder? Thank you for the sub. You're awesome. So I get my neutral stick down the ramp there. Also very excited to meet you at Pace, homie. Alright, so wall run. I get the check. Scaredy cat behavior. I really took my time to line that up. And then, oh my gosh, that wall run was scary. Jeez. Wow, this is a really scary green forest. But you know, we got through it, and on pretty good pace as well. Based off the 108 there, we were on about like 114, 115 pace, and you know, that's 115 is what we get. So 115 minimal pauses. This combined Sonic is like, dude, like it's just ideal. Like I can't ask for too much more. 118 CE, 118 Metal Harbor, 115 Green Forest. I can do better, but like not much. The only thing holding this run back is RNG. It's just crazy to say. I don't think I've ever had a start this strong. Also, that 131 Prison Wave, man. Crazy. I don't remember this set, to be completely honest, but this is one of the good ones. Also, what's up, Island? Hope all the gamers in chat are doing well. Yeah, I do be chatting right now. Or what's that emote streaming? Alright, so me and M are saying, why is the homie at the station? Like, I'm happy the homie's here, but it's so much time lost to go pick them up in the middle of my speed run, you know? Because this piece sucks, so we always make jokes about that. But, you know, pretty much best case scenario from here is like what we were saying in VC. This is like one of the only good RNG stages in the run. At this point, 7-11, classic, Will W. So a little bit of like talking about pace here, because Mission Street, not really too much going on here. I can talk about some of my strats, but that's like a little bit down. Pace-wise here, I really want to be 9-1x out of Mission Street, and so that's like bare minimum, really. I think any more than that, and 21 is sort of dead unless I go crazy. So to have a little bit of wiggle room, I like a 9-1x, and Mission Street is going to be just over 2 minutes, right? So having a 7-11 puts me around low to mid 9-1x, so I'm like, yeah, this is a pretty good run. This is reasonable. This is a pace that I could do something with. I got a good Aquatic Mine, it is over. And it's also, so I play Mission Street pretty uniquely. I think I'm pushing a lot forward with this run in particular. I am like trying my best to show that you can go really far with really consistent strats. Look, I made that mistake. That cost me a lot of time for the cycle here. I only pause a single time, and none of that is to get the cycle. It's just to get weight hop. And I made that big of a mistake, and I don't have to pause again. I think that's a really big thing, and people who are slow pausers like me, please do this. Even if you're not, it's a little bit of time save, man. It's so worth. Like, if you just learn the good movement, you have so much time. Also on top of that, we'll talk about it later, but the new Egg Golem strat's way more consistent, dude. And always free cam box hover gang. It is way easier, and it loses 2 seconds, but it's so worth. So I've been trying to push take the small L's for consistency, and I'm glad that I'm finally starting to show something real with it. It's kind of hype. PB is really important. Yeah, so it's weird because I wouldn't necessarily say a rut. The weird part is I think I was breaking out of a rut right before Frontiers came out. And then Frontiers was out. And I was like, well, I have to play this. I want to play this. But also SA2's right there. 21's right around the corner. And so over the course of the last couple months leading up to the tournament, I have been derusting and improving ILs. In particular, Pyramid Cave is one that I've improved a lot. And yeah, like, I think I was capable of 21 a long time ago. And my execution just keeps getting better. Also, 3 fans piece 1. I don't like it. I'm starting to reset it, and it is kind of working out for me. Like, it can be a good piece, but I don't know. This piece is kind of mid. I executed pretty well here, though, I think. Like, that was hype. Plus, this spiral was so good. Yes. I love Aquatic Mind, dude. This set was pretty good. I kind of messed it up, though. Yeah. Yeah, Tekka was right. I got a pretty good set. The fact that I had to reset kind of sucks, though. But 945, dude. 945 is always my cutoff for 21 because you need a sub 10 second half. And I'm looking here and I'm like, yeah, this could be it. Very hype. And here I'm scrolling through my splits, probably talking about, wow, this RNG isn't even that good. And like, I'm just executing, man. This is cool. Sonic with the best line of all time. Now we have a Route 101. Yeah, I don't know when my best exit there is. I want to say like a 9:32, maybe. I think me and M actually have a very similar best split time there. So I've been 13 seconds faster than this before. But the thing is I've improved so much on my second half, and I think that's really where the biggest change is that before I had no consistency in, frankly, the inconsistent parts of the run. But I built up so much of it and improved my skill at a lot of it so much that even if I play poorly, it's still better than it was before. And that is huge, genuinely. Just sitting down and deciding I'm gonna figure this out before we go anywhere else, right? And that is what made this run possible. Without that, this run was going nowhere. So I'm happy that it worked out, because that was the piece that I've been missing. Yeah, Route 101, dude. I am definitely worse at Route 101 since I've been back, and my back and forth movement is even more erratic, like Big Mikey pointed out. Look at that, dude. When I go left, I cannot go even across. I think my thumbs are messed up, man. I might have to overhand the stick or something, dude. Look how bad that is. I am constantly thinking about it in Route 101 too. I'm like, please, just go across, just go across. I think I need to just hold the controller different. Or like maybe position my thumb different. I don't know. I just can't physically do it. I need to figure that out, because it's like really bad. It makes it hard to control, and ultimately it's just less reliable. And yeah, I get a pretty meh Route 101 because of it, because I'm just not controlling the cart very well. But, you know, we are 12 flat, so like I said, if I get a 9:59 flat here, second half, the 21 is mine. Doesn't matter if it's a second or what. And really what I'm saying here, to M, because I'm chilling in BC with M, Taco, and Tylenol, I'm saying if I get lucky once, Meteor Herd or Death Chamber, 21 is totally real. Like, as long as I execute decently and I get lucky once, that's all I need. If I get super lucky in Death Chamber, I don't even have to play well. That's the crazy part. If I get like a 25-second time in Death Chamber, it's over. That's the crazy part about that stage. But I will tell you, I did not get that. So I would say, actually, execution-wise, even though this stage time is fine, my pauses are too long. And you'll see right here, my pauses are so long because I'm just playing for consistency. That's like a minute right there. Or a second, I mean, sorry, a minute. It's like a second, maybe even a second and a half already of time loss. But I got pull hop. So it's like, worth? I don't know. I need to work on it. But pausing for that long is really the only way I can guarantee that it's good. Yeah, an entire minute of pausing, so based. This is IGT strats. Yeah, ultimately, I actually think this was a pretty good hidden base. I'm pretty happy with it. But yeah, the pauses are way too long. I've definitely been working on this stage. I think my movement in general is better. But yeah, I definitely need to work on those pauses and just get it into my muscle memory doing them fast again. Especially for the ones that aren't super important. The ones where you don't need much height, but you don't really want to do a like a double tap jump, double tap hover. Like here, I could totally start doing double tap hovers again. But also, those pauses were pretty quick. I mean, it's only like a few tenths, right? It's like, maybe that's worth. I just gotta work on speeding it up. But yeah, so I'm gonna get a 140 here. Very solid time. Like, I certainly cannot complain about it. But like, for example, I'm losing 4 seconds to pauses. Like, if you just chop off the pauses on this stage, man, or cut them in half, this run is a lot better, genuinely. So, yeah. Like, it's almost enough right there for a 21, dude, you know, on this run. So, like, yeah, it actually mattered a lot. So it's something I'm going to look into a lot, for sure. And this Pyramid Cave is pretty good. I've been working on Pyramid Cave a lot. I recently got a 123 story style. Pretty good time. Still like 5 seconds behind Katie's best, I believe. But, like, you know, considering I don't do hex skip and that Katie 4 is Katie, I'm fine with that. Because it's realistically maybe, you know, hex skip saves maybe 1 or 2, so it's more like 3 to 4 seconds behind. Plus, like, not doing IL strats, so yeah, like Blue Honda and all that. But yeah, so this one went pretty well. It's like safe strats good, you know, because I lose a lot of time to playing pretty safe. But just in general, it's just solid. Let's see, how did the tunnel go? Oh, I think I get hit by the dash pad here. Oh no, I didn't. I think I do lose a little bit of speed, but oh yeah, that's actually a rough tunnel. I lost like a second, maybe even a second and a half there. No, more like a second and more like a second. All right, so yeah, I mean, very solid Pyramid Cave. Nothing to write home about, but also just good. Safe ending. I mean, if I pushed this a little bit harder, I could have saved a couple more seconds, but ultimately I just wanted something solid, and that's what I got. At this point, I'm minus 16. I'm like, if I get good RNG, if I save time on this Death Chamber, like 21 is well within my hands, even with like second try Bofo, right? So I'm just like, let's hang in there. This is crazy. Because like I could get a 30 here, and the run is just godlike at that point. But you're going to see I definitely don't get that. I get above the small flame blue. Now, there's a few different ways I could play this, but I personally like just doing red box clip here. Which I nail. And I had some pretty good movement here, but something unfortunate's going to happen. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a few seconds lost. And again, that's like the difference between the 21, right? So... But I immediately spawned into a ping. Very nice. And then I also played pretty bad here. Sad. Because I thought I saw Roasted Keys, but I started climbing. I was like, And when it didn't ping, I was like, oh, dude. But then I realized, I'm like, wait, Bug's baby. Yeah, and then I get this piece, which is not very good. Also, the movement's not very good. So yeah, again, the difference between the 21 there. But yeah, like ultimately played pretty well. I think Death Chamber is probably some of the biggest execution mistakes, because I think realistically I probably could have went even there. I wouldn't have saved time, but I think I could have gone even or been close to it if I had played that better. But if I had played it better, I probably would have spawned into a different piece, so who knows? There's no guarantees, right? Alright, we are heading into the end game, and the big thing to talk about here, you know, King Boom Boo is whatever. It is just a boss. But Egg Golem. So we can talk about the strat that it's kind of from me, Deku Drum. And shout out to Prophet too. The Prophet bounces. There's basically a mock bounce that you can do in Egg Golem, instead of doing the super bounces that are very tight, super intense frame windows. That frankly I'm really bad at being consistent. So we came up with the strat. The problem with profit bounces is they take too long to set up. So Egg Golem's going to swing a lot and it becomes really slow. But we came up with a strat where if you restart right here, he's a little bit slower after a restart. And if you wait in the cutscene a little bit, it delays him. So he's going to swing to the left, which is really good for us because that means that we're going to land on that platform to the right. And he doesn't have to move like at all for the final hit. So we basically found out that this strat really only loses a few seconds over regular super bounces, and it's way more consistent. So I do like a nearly flawless safe Egg Golem and get a 27. Which I had a gold with super bounces in my PB, so I lose 4 seconds, but we're alive and way more consistent. Now at this point, I'm like, okay, if I have a good end, it's 21. I've gotten 450 ends so many times. Unfortunate stuff happens there. And because of that happening there, that little slowdown, I missed this guy totally. And now I've lost like 5 seconds. Again, killing the, this run is a 2204. That killed the 21 in theory. But I hit the Quan in the backup. At this point, I'm just laughing. I'm like, whoa, is this even a PB anymore after all of that? I don't even know at this point. Yeah, so we're floating through space. Shout out to Jazz for teaching the community about Eternal Engine. Obviously, a lot of people have been doing it, but this fast drop here is part of it. And also this a little adjustment to the right. I was really cautious with it there because I didn't want to move over too far to the right. So to explain that a little bit, when you move over just a little bit to the right early, you might not even notice it, but the camera just got influenced, even the slightest bit. But you're holding down for so long that little bit of influence is going to make a huge difference to your trajectory, right? And at this point, now that the goal rank's coming up, we are nearly right next to it right now. You're going to see I don't have to change my course almost at all, whereas otherwise you have to go a lot more distance if you don't move early. But it's a little scary because there's a lot of bad stuff that can happen. And realistically, that 5 seconds of time loss, I'm like, dude, that's probably going to kill the 21 unless we get really lucky here. Or I hit OBT. I'm like, dude, I really don't want to have to rely on OBT. I'm still not 100% with it. I'm maybe like 1 out of 3 times I get it. Maybe better. Depends on the day. I think some days I'm like 2 out of 3. Some days I'm 1 out of 3. I'm not there as my main strat, you know? I get 2 huge containers. Now, people don't like this piece, but I think it's actually pretty good. Has some confirmed sets. And I think in general, it's just average. And I'm like, okay, I'm still ahead. Like, we'll take this. And I actually get a pretty good piece too here. And I'm like, okay, well, this set is just going to be time saved pretty much regardless of what the last piece is. Now, this piece kind of sucks, though. Unless it's the top one, which it's not. This is fine. But if it was the top one there, I would be on a really nice face. Okay, so at this point, we're past all the RNG. We're -5. There is, like, no time save left. You may notice the BPT, though, is a 2152. And the reason for that is because of OBT. OBT saves about 7 seconds. So realistically, if I played a golds outside of OBT, we're on 2159 pace. But I would have to play within tenths of my golds that are hyper optimized. There's no way I'm going for those strats needed, right? So I realize at this point, it's OBT or no 21. And I'm thinking, I haven't PB'd in like 8 months, because the last time I PB'd was Frontiers. And I'm like, dude, it's just, I just want the PB. So at this point, I'm just playing safe. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to try my best not to lose time, but I want to play safe. To answer your question, there you go. CG gold on screen, 44.67, which is pretty good, because realistically, you can't really get much better than a 40 with the regular CG strat. Or like the hardest one, the fastest one, we'll say. And free cam box over loses 2 seconds. So that basically equates to a 42 with the other version of the skip. And Yeah, so it's like 2 seconds within like community gold, basically, like what you can expect at the fastest level. So realistically, I'm not getting a 44 here because I also know in my head here that I want the checkpoint, and the reason being is because even if I miss CGSS, oh that was really sad, by the way. That lost me like a second or two. But even if I miss CGSS here, in my head I'm like, I could just do OBT, and the run is alive. So I did want to hit the checkpoint. I wasn't going to go back for it, but I wanted to try to hit it. And I get out of bounds, and it's a decent time. It's nothing that good, but it's a decent time. Man, this song is awesome, but it's supposed to play later. This is the problem with not planning out. The songs that you're gonna listen to during this. Because this is always the song I play at the end of the run. Which it kind of is, but like during the credits, I mean. Alright, so at this point, I'm like, okay, 2204, let's just take it. Because back before Frontiers came out, I so desperately wanted the 21. I wanted to be second place. I wanted to be the second one to do it in the current timing method. And I threw so many runs on this pace to OBT. Because I just desperately wanted the 21. Nothing else mattered. And so here I'm like, man, I could go for it. I'm so much better at the skip now than I was back then. I could handle it right now. I could handle going for OBT. But I don't know if I'll hit it. And I don't know if I want to risk it all in that. I think I need the win. Tournament's not going super well for me at this point. I just wanted to win. I wanted to look on the board and see today on my name, right? I wanted to say last week or a month ago in like a little while, you know? I wanted to see all of that. So I was like, I'm just going to go for the PB. I don't care. And next time when I'm on 2203 pace, I don't care. I can just go for OBT. Who cares about 1 second, you know? But like a 5-second PB, 4 to 5, it's like, dude, I'll just take it at this point. It is so impactful, so meaningful for how much time I put into this game to get a PB like that. So I want to cherish that moment and not risk it, right? And I don't regret the call, but yeah, next time I'm definitely going for it. If I am not on pace into FR for a 21, I will go for OBT. I will guarantee that now. And I'm going to start putting a lot more practice into OBT once this tournament's over. Alright, and we are golden on height. I was so focused on making sure that we would be good on height and also not hit the kill plane. I don't know if I've ever been more focused on the counting for that skip. I was just so in the moment here. And I believe I'm going to start talking in a second. Alright, well, there it is. I just wanted the PP. I don't care about 21 right now. I know I can get it. RNG was fucking atrocious this run. I can do it. I wanted this PB. Let's bring it home. It's not over. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to mute too because I was playing DMCA music after. So shout out to the homies that were in VC. Yeah, we'll hear the pop off for a second. Let's fucking go, dude. I did it. I fucking did it, dude.
Wait,
Let's
what?
go. Did my stream die? I didn't get... Okay. We're gonna just mute. Sorry, I didn't know how to handle that. I should have just muted the thing. But yeah, shout out to Taiwan on Taco. The funny thing is that when I deafened in Death Chamber, I think it was, my stream died in Discord. So they're all just chilling. They're like, what's going on? And then I come back and I'm like, I did it. I fucking PB'd, man. They all pop off for me. That was really funny. Yeah, man. Very hype. I'm very satisfied with this PB. I think it's a really good one. We don't get to hear a lot of the call after, but if people are curious, I can link the other version that I uploaded. It's like the raw version that people want to hear. But yeah, super cool run. Yeah. So I guess at this point we can go over the splits and stuff. more in depth, because I think I saw Tado talking about Nux. It's a good point. I'm gonna open my my sheet that I use. All right, let's take a look at it. Well, we will pause this bad boy. And oh gosh, that is so bright. I really need to turn that down. This does bop Aura by like a 10th. So I am first place US again, and back to my peak ranking in SA2 of 4th. So this is like my own spreadsheet that I use for tests and stuff. So if you compare it here, these are my last two PBs. You will notice here that I have a 525 Nux. And here I have a 528 Nux. Now those numbers probably don't mean much to you, so let me give you some for comparison. If we go ahead and look here, you can, this is the best combined Nux just in PBs, not the best combined Nux ever. The best combined Nux ever is about 15 seconds faster than that, I believe. Maybe even more. Oh yeah, it's definitely more. It's like 20 seconds faster than that, I think. It's kind of dumb. But you can see I'm all the way down here at 15th, and my RNG got worse. My RNG, like if you look at the top 10, my RNG is like worse than everybody. Like it's worse than Iden's by 10 seconds. It's worse than Aura's by 8. It's worse by Lexi's than 8. It's worse than Flub's by 10, right? It's like, dude, this is fucked up. There's very few people who have a worse RNG than me at a top level, and it's kind of crazy. Also, if you look at the combined Sonic, 727, that is a new combined Sonic PB for me. And what that means is that I have second place combined Sonic. I barely beat out Iden's Sonic. Like literally, I carried this run straight up from execution. If you look at these, I improved my my Sonic by 8 seconds, and I improved my Tails by 3. Even with that big couple mistakes that cost me like 5 seconds in EE, and the 4 seconds of pausing at hidden base, I still improved my time by a lot. And then my bosses, even though like I did slower strats and had bad bosses, it's barely slower. And it's still, I think, like 4th place bosses. So I'm 2nd place Sonic, like 7th Tails, 4th bosses, and then like 16th Knuckles. It's crazy. I'm now down here below Frog. But yeah, I don't lose my placing here. It's just crazy, man. I need to just grind out a run that gets good RNG and where I play decent. That is ultimately at the end of the day it. And if you want to see, here's the calculations for IGT, by the way. 2158 IGT, very cool. Obviously that's not our timing method, but this is like the main timing method for me for a long time. So it still is significant. It's still impactful. It doesn't hit the same, but it's still cool. Figured I'd calculate it because I already have all of these just for reference. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the VOD. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. I am super excited to get that 21. This will probably be going up on my alt channel, so if you're still listening, make sure to sub, because this is probably my alt channel. And yeah, make sure to sub to that channel. It's pretty cool. Where I upload all my speedruns, so thanks for watching, and peace.